country. I think, especially in Abuja and Lagos, it's very interesting. The Lagos governor also collected his PVC yesterday.
Perhaps he did a transfer.
He said he went to update some records, and all of that. So it's a good one. He's leading by example on the first day. So if there's anybody who have registered at all validly, please go out and collect your PVC so that you don't complain.
Well, did you notice the crowd at Bulu?
Yeah, the Lagos.
The crowd across the country is enormous.
The rush
Yes.
to collect is we appreciate Nigerians for rushing to collect. The Lagos State Governor, as Steve said, collected yesterday, and he said he took him just 2 minutes. And some person say, if you say just 2 minutes, we will go and collect. Take it just 2 minutes. That will not be fair because you are a personality, you are a government official, you are a governor of a state. They will clear all the roads for you to collect. Even if somebody will be giving query itself for the 2 minutes that you spent to collect your PVC. But be that as it may, I want to encourage Nigerians to start collecting now gradually, not to wait until the expiry date or to the closing date, to start rushing to collect it. The PVC, some persons were asking me behind closed doors yesterday that can they open the bank account with it? And I told them, INEC has not given you go ahead to open bank account with PVC.
No, rather can they use it as a source of identification? Yes, to a reasonable extent.
INEC need to clarify on that. And also, there's also the quarrel that these days, if you go to the bank, Amechi, you can use your BVN to collect your ATM card. Why did INEC use that technology to ensure that people will just, they will arrange this thing, you put in your number, and you print out your ATM card instead of waiting or the long queue in front of INEC office to collect your PVC. So these are technologies we think INEC can embrace.
Speaking with Professor Adele Jinodri yesterday, former NEC commissioner 1987 to 1992, and he told me in some African countries, including Ghana, once you're 18 and you're issued with their national ID card, it serves as your voter card. And we have, over the years, we have spoken on this program about the need to unify identification, harmonize it. We have always counted the number, and it's growing by the day, where you need to go and get biometrics of Nigerians. Every institution wants to set up their own, and we believe strongly because of the money involved. They are making money out of it and all that. The procurement issues, personal gratification overrides national interest. We hope the president set up a committee at some point to harmonize. Just like every other committee.
No, in education, I think WAEC, JAMB, and NECO, they'll be able to harmonize that you use your NIN for registration. So they are not doing any special biometric. Again, so they use the one gathered by NIMSI, National Identification Management.
So if you bring your NIN, then they won't ask for any other.
So NIN is used, and even I think some banks now request for NIN for you to open an account.
Most transactions. Perhaps Sholaja Simi, this national identity card, even though we are not getting the cards, it's still the slip of paper where we have our numbers. We should work towards harmonizing it. But the rush on INEC collection, local government offices across the country appear to have told us that the pressure is now on INEC to continue to do more to ease this process of distribution of PVCs.
But let me quickly touch on the aspect of a multiplicity of cards. I just brought up my small purse where I have all these cards just now. And I was looking at them, ID card, driver's license.
Which, name them, please.
Well, national ID card.
National ID card.
Yeah, I have the card itself.
Oh, lucky.
Yes.
It did not expire.
It hasn't expired, actually.
Mine has.
Oh, really? Okay, I'm looking at it here, but I'm not seeing any expiry date. I have the driver's license.
Check whether you're wearing glasses.
I do wear them.
Shall I go ahead?
I have the driver's license is here. The what's it called? The voter's card. I left that one at home because now the voting season. So we have this multiplicity of cards, about 4 or 5 of them, And the interesting thing is that, like we have said, and like you just emphasized, we're out there for a while to look at the midterm elections in the US, and we saw people going to the polling center, and the driver's license served. We saw people going to the polling center. There's this card American citizens use. They brought it out. So we need to ask Malam, Ibrahim, Aliu, Pantami, Oga Halfa,
Are you calling him Malam
He
now?
said he's a professor.
Are you calling him doctor? Are you calling him professor?
No, I quickly
why did you choose Malam?
Okay, well, you know he's an Islamic scholar. And
Okay.
he doesn't
I
joke
don't
with
want to
that
pull
shit.
your legs. Go ahead.
Well, officially, what's his name?
No, he's a professor. He's a professor of cyber.
Asu has not agreed that he's a professor.
No, Asu doesn't
That's
need to
by
agree.
the way I put it.
The governing council of Futo has said we offer you the professorship based on what you've done. So these are the questions we in the media need to be asking him. In the next few months, he will leave that position. So we need to be raising all these issues. How far with the committee which you chair? You turn the
Harmonization Committee.
Yeah, you got the approval of the president to change the name of the ministry, not just better communication, but digital economy. So we need to ask Professor Pantami, how far with this, so that we can know where we're headed. Instead of all this, look at my purse. The thing is so fat, but there are no funds inside. But there'll be funds soon. So back to the issue. It's not yet Uhuru. It's still early days. So we need to put the pressure on INEC now. The top management, the Recs, the admin secretaries, and squeeze them to ensure not that someone who has collected and is happy and we are rejoicing it's in the newspaper. How about the average Nigerian? We look at the process. We go to those polling centers. Like Edie was asking to the boss in news management yesterday. Asking us how far, where are the reports, what are we doing? So we need to ask these questions so that the Nigerians look at the report that came out over the weekend. Someone going into a pit somewhere in southwest Nigeria. They are unearthing, I'm sure you saw the video that went viral, unearthing PVC cards that had been buried in a soak away. So it shows you the collusion within politicians, some unscrupulous INEC officials. We need to expose all of them. It's not yet Uhuru. Let's keep on put the pressure on INEC until everybody who deserves to get a card gets his card. And back in the court of Nigerians, don't wait till the last minute.
Tefe will always tell us that we are discovering these PVCs now because of the introduction of BVAS. BVAS is now mandatory for screening to the extent that there's no incidence form. So those of them that have those PVCs, and there are reports that they are still purchasing them, the parties are putting pressures on INEC to take action. There are recent reports that politicians are still buying PVCs. Tell me, what would they do with it?
Clearly, from what analysts have also said, they are looking at disenfranchising those who have those PVCs. If your PVC is bought or you sell it, know that you cannot vote and it cannot be used for voting. In the elections that we'll have next year. And I mentioned we also need to look at the politics of the collection of these PVCs. Kaduna State INEC has reported that 60% of the old PVCs, not even the new ones, have already been collected. In Bayelsa State, the rec there was complaining that people are not turning out to pick up their PVCs and all of that. This is how it starts. So that on February 25 or 26, when the results start coming, February 25, when the results start coming, those who have not collected their PVC will be the ones sitting and shouting, "Oh, they've rigged the election." Go out now and collect your PVCs. We are seeing the records from Kaduna, we are seeing the records from Borno, we are seeing the records from Plateau, we are seeing the records from even my state, Benue. The collection is very low. When the results start coming and we start seeing millions across in other states, don't complain because those people have gone out to collect their PVCs.
But you talked about Bayelsa. I'm very concerned. The flood ravaged a lot of communities there. I mean, let's not forget. Have they recovered? How are they doing? How are they feeling? How are they faring? Do they have relief materials? If you are hungry, you will not go rushing to queue to collect your PVC. So we need to also put these issues into consideration to see these persons that were saying are not rushing yet to collect. Have they been settled in their houses or in the LDP camps that they are supposed to be due to the flood that ravaged several communities we know?
Let me just quickly weigh in on this. You brought up Bayelsa because the last set of elections I keep wondering. I like it when every Nigerian has a right to vote. But the figures that were churned out in some parts of this country where people had left their places and they had thousands of them, tens of thousands in various, IDP camps. And we saw the results that came out. So we need to interrogate all these things.
Questions need to be asked. How did like the place like Maiduguri? I don't know why Shola don't want to mention. A place like Maiduguri where we know insecurity was there. So how did the numbers turn out? And we say we have certain huge numbers of voters.
Well, let's welcome one thing that will be certain. Nigerians are desirous of voting. there's a strong likelihood that voter turnout may be the highest in recent time, based on this massive surge by the people. The citizens have suddenly realized that they have a stake and they are part of the electoral process. Let's welcome our guest analyst for today. Maudi is of the Alliance for Credible Election. She's also of the Ima Ezeazu Center for Transparency and her part.
Good governance.
Good governance and transparency. Thank you so much for joining us, Maudi. Your perceptions of your perspectives on the PVC's distribution and collection.
Good morning, and thank you for having me. Good morning, Nigerians. INEC has started distributing PVCs from yesterday at their local government area offices, and it will last till 22nd of December. Another one will start from 6th of January to the 15th of January at the ward levels, registration ward. And another one will start from the 16th at the local government offices till 22nd of January. The most critical stakeholder in electoral process and elections are the citizens, because there are no polling units in Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. So all the people who stay there to analyze what is going on in INEC offices should step out and go and collect their PVCs. It's not only collecting PVCs, you have to vote and ensure that your vote counts. You must monitor your vote the way Osun citizens monitor their own in July this year. So you must vote on the 25th of February year 2023 and 11th of January, 11th of March year 2023, because there will be election for presidency, House of Reps, and also Senate on the 25th, and the governors and House of Assembly members on the 11th of March year 2023. Before we start rigging, we have to do the things we needed to do. The Constitution said leaders should provide welfare and security, and that welfare is good health services delivery and good education and economic empowerment. If you want to say your vote, make sure you get the amount that will solve all the problems, that will provide your security and also provide your welfare, and ensure that your children or yourself go to school, and also access hospital that works, not the ones that do not work. When you want to sell this vote, sell it for this amount that will cover every need of yours for the next 4 years. And if you do not get that amount, go out and vote. And the people who are buying your votes, to make sure that their opponents' strongholds do not win, don't sell your vote, because if
buying
you sell,
PVCs.
they buy PVCs.
Is that why they are buying it?
Yes, they buy it from where their opponents are strong, so that the people will not vote for them. They are transferring.
Have you gotten the reports that we are hearing that they are currently buying?
They are buying. There are
How
many
much is
people
it going
There
for?
are people, they just transfer 10,000, 7,000, 5,000 to your account. It cannot solve your problem. Do not sell your PVC. But when you sell your PVC, next time you say INEC, you didn't register. But because when you say that, your data is already in INEC database. I
don't know those that are selling. I don't know whether they can hear us on this radio.
They have to hear
I
us.
don't know whether they can even understand the language, the lingua franca we're using. I suspect that those that are complicit, that are vulnerable, are those in the rural areas, poverty-stricken, who are looking forward to the next 5,000 they will see in bulk.
That is why I want her to explain to me what the role National Orientation Agency play in educating or sensitizing Nigerians over this issue of PVC vote trading. Because you know very well, we have said severally here that is it not okay to have the Orientation Agency having this publicity in different languages? Good enough now, government has approved mother tongue in schools. Is it not good we begin to see this promotional, this sensitization on air? Or the Orientation Agency does not have any role to play when it comes to such issues?
How do we, in other words, how do we reach these rural folks, poor rural folks, to discourage them from selling their PVC?
I think we need the CSO, because the National Orientation Agency have not been working for years. We have been shouting the same thing and they have refused to wake up. And they have offices in all the 700.
Because government has refused to fund it.
They keep on saying there's no funding. And I think donors need to work with National Orientation Agency to reduce all these problems we have. But now that they are not yet on ground, I think all the NGOs, this is the time to work. In every state you are, especially in the Southeast, go and do and pay for radio jingles. Majority of people will listen to radio and they will hear it and they will not say their vote in local language, and they will not say their vote for 5,000 or 10,000. Somebody called and said they are blackmailing me. They are not blackmailing you. You have a choice not to
They are blackmailing to sell.
I said, get your account details or copy the number of your PVC and give to them. What is your number of PVC doing with a politician that have been in power for 7.5 years that didn't do anything?
Is that the VIN?
This is
is
the
it
time to
the
pay
VIN
back.
on the PVC? There's a VIN number
Yes.
on the PVC. Is
Yes.
that what they are copying?
They are copying and sending to them, and they pay you 5,000, 10,000 if you negotiate. But the point,
And it was that same vein that a viral video emerged showing INEC staff copying, and the person that did the video suggested that it was in collusion with some politicians to indeed rig the election. But INEC came out with a clarification saying no, we also need that vein. We want to make it possible via the internet for people to track their PVCs. Now, those that are purchasing this PVC are demanding the VIN on it.
yes.
What do you make out of all this?
They want to, once they have your PVC, when they get your VIN, they will now ask you to bring the PVC.
Okay.
After they paid, when you give them the PVC, and remember,
Okay, maybe they use it for confirmation
Yes,
that
the
PVC is
it's
genuine.
yours. It's yours.
Yes.
Before they collect the PVC.
Okay.
And mind you, the people that are paying you this 5,000 or 7 or 10 have political talks. Once you collect their money, you have no choice than to surrender the PVC. So if they find the best thing to do not negotiate with them. Do not send your VIN to them. Do not give them your PVC. Your PVC has your economy that works.
Okay.
It has good road networks. It will reduce maternal mortality rates and out of school children. This PVC has a lot to offer to us. We have to collect it. Not only collecting the PVCs, we must vote and watch our vote. And also the entertainers that went out asking people to go and register. We need them again this time around to ask people to go and collect their PVC and also to go and vote.
We have to thank you so
Watch
much,
the vote.
Mma Odi of Alliance for Credible Election and Mmezazo Center for Good Governance and Transparency for giving us your time and giving us the perspectives to this issue. Tell me quickly, INEC has said they have arrested some people who are in possession of PVCs that are not theirs. It's wrong. If you're seen with a PVC that does not belong to you, some people have been sent to jail. What do we do to make sure that we punish these people, arrest them and deal with them?
Ahmed, I hope you're not asking me to support the Electoral Offences
Thank
Commission. Clearly, what we have here, I will always say it, that INEC needs to do much more. As it is, they've not developed the capacity, to be able to address the issue of electoral offense. But I think they can't do that, moving forward. They've told us the VIN, for instance, is for them to keep records of